If you watched my Nux Trident video, you know that initially I kind of struggled to set it up properly. The thing I should tell you before we go further is that I'm actually fairly new to the digital modeling world and the amp guitar processors and stuff like that. I said I was new to modelers and stuff, so I had a bit of a hard time getting things set up initially. And the reason why is because I tried to plug it directly into my computer with the USB-C port, right from the USB-C port on the Trident, like right into my computer. And I tried to go in direct like that. And it's maybe it's possible that you can actually set it up in that way and have it work perfectly, but I was getting terrible latency and it wasn't going well. So initially what I ended up doing is I ended up putting it in the return of the effects loop and using the power amp of the amp instead. And that worked perfectly. However, there is a way to just go directly into your computer, and I did figure it out, and that's by using an audio interface. I didn't know at the time that that's what you needed to do. But that's what I ended up doing. So I have your guitar, and then the Trident, and then the audio interface, and then your computer. And then when I set that up, it ended up working perfectly and sounding perfectly. So I'm just gonna show you what I did right now. That way you know, maybe you're like me and you struggled to set this up for the first time because you never used one before. So you're gonna need a couple different things to make this work. First thing is you're gonna need an audio interface. The Scarlett 2i2 is always a good choice. The next thing I'd recommend is a fairly long USB-C cable. I'd say 10 to 15 feet at least. It's always better to be too long than too short. You're probably gonna need the power adapter that comes with your amp modeler, usually 9 volts. And then you're gonna need, of course, your actual amp modeler. In this case, I'm gonna use the Trident from NUX. And then you're gonna need a computer with a DAW. In this case, I'm gonna use GarageBand, which you can see right there. And then you're gonna need a 1/4" instrument cable. I'm gonna use this little one here. And then you're gonna actually need another instrument cable as well. So I'm gonna get my computer here. I'm gonna connect the audio interface to the computer with the USB-C cord, like so. And then I'm gonna get the Trident in a good position. I'm gonna connect the audio interface to the Trident, to the output 1 on the Trident. And then I'm gonna connect a cable into the input of the Trident. And that's gonna go into my guitar. It's gonna go into my guitar, which you can see right here probably. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna connect your power cable to your Trident or to your amp modeler. And then you're gonna turn it on. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to set up not only the audio interface, also the settings in your DAW and the settings on the amp modeler. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go up into your settings of your DAW. You want to set your output in your input device. In this case, I'm using the Sapphire 6 USB, so I'm going to use that for my input. That's what the Trident is connected to, the processor. And then I have my output to Telestream, which is a screen recording software. In your case, you're going to use your audio interface, which your monitors are connected to, or you're going to use the built-in output, which is just the speakers. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hit this monitoring right here. And we're gonna find out what our signal is like. So let's hit record, and so obviously that's worthless, right? That's completely worthless. Let's hit the instrument button on our audio interface. That's gonna bring it up to line level. Now it's huge though, so that's too much. So let's dial it back to about 4.5 roughly. Hit it pretty hard and make sure that you don't clip when you're playing hard. Even that's a bit much. I would dial it back even a little bit more. In my opinion, you want to have the gain on your audio interface fairly low, because then you're going to minimize the amount of noise and hiss and digital sounds in your recording. By the way, if you're looking for something to practice, I'd recommend learning triads all over the neck. It's what I've been learning for the last 6 or 8 months. Go to travelingguitarist.com/fretboard cheat sheet. You can sign up to my list there. I'll give you a bunch of free cheat sheets, and at some point I'll be creating a community, and you can be a part of that too. I think my guitar is a bit out of tune, but there we go. That's looking pretty good now. Sounds pretty good other than the latency from my screen recording software. But let's try a different preset. Now in the case that the preset changes the volume significantly, you can just set it the level, or you can adjust the master volume on your processor. So just like that. There we go. It's looking all right. We're gonna drop that level back a little bit. Let's get some reverb and delay. What if we boost it? But ultimately, that's how you get your guitar processor to be hooked up to your computer. It's a pretty straightforward process, and it sounds great. I mean, using the Trident with this sounds awesome. I really enjoy it.